Happy Sunday night, everybody, and welcome to the Park Adventurers Club. I'm your host, Rob Whiteside. Thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. We are going to be live. We're going to be answering some questions. We're going to have a little bit of a debate. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It's the Park Adventurers Club. We'll tell you all about what's coming up with us and other people at the end of this one. And then also, please give us a like if it'll help people to find us. And then on top of that, tonight, we're going to have two of my favorites on tonight, and it's part of this. We're going to take questions from the chat. Now, here's how this is going to work. We would love it if you would super chat if you have a question for either of the gentlemen on the panel tonight, and we will go through and we will try to keep up and get as many of those processed as possible tonight. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you guys have a beverage, your popcorn, you're ready to go. And again, if there's any rule breaking, I've got my mallet, which will mean nothing tonight, because these are the fellas in question, Mr. Pete Carney and Kevin, who I'm calling the Director of Hawaiian Relations. Pete, are you on mute, by the way? Because you're not loud enough.
I muted myself. Classic Carney. Steve Anko, everyone. Great to see you. Happy Sunday night.
Yeah. Kev?
How you doing, everybody?
That was hopefully that's as subdued as you get tonight, my friend. I promised people we were going to be amped up. So this, I just want to open this up with this fun story is that Pete's lovely wife, I mean, not Pete's lovely wife, Kevin's lovely wife, reached out and said, hey, Pete and Kev want to do this thing. They want to take questions. They want to be on the show, but they don't want to have topics to talk about. They want the chat to determine topics. Pete, was this your idea?
No, but it's a great one. To be honest, when I have a great time when I hang out with Ali and Kevin, and a lot of this conversation I don't remember. But you know what? Because I'm having such a great time with Ali and Kevin. So yeah, I love the original format. You know this. I'm a big fan of Park Center, the Park Adventurers Club, and Disney News and panelists. But this is going to be awesome. Plus, I mean, I got my main man, Kevin K, in the house. I love it.
Whoop. All right, so here's what we're going
to do. Whatever it takes to get Kevin on a show with me. I love it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I thought the fourth box was going to be Pocahontas. I was pretty psyched.
Oh, I would love if somebody would make the Pocahontas conversation. I love the Pocahontas conversation. It's one of my favorites. My son still goes, I wonder if that Pocahontas is right for Kev. It's of lore. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But here's the way I'd like to do this is that we're going to ask the questions. I see one in the chat already. And then once we run this by you guys, I'm going to give each of you guys a chance to talk about it. And then we will go on to the next question and, have fun with it. So the first one comes from, I'm going to do this sound. Comes from our friend Jungle Cruiser and says, here's my first hot take. What would have happened if Mickey Mouse Park had been built? Thus being an employee-only park. Thoughts?
Kevin, go ahead.
An employee-only park.
Yeah.
Well, they don't pay their employees enough as it is, so I doubt there'd be anybody there.
I was going to say, is there free food and drink? Because you're not getting employees to show up unless you got freebies.
No, I mean, I'm surprised they even get them to show up with the pay that they give them. These people deserve a lot more with the type of guests that they have to deal with. And yeah, I would be shocked if employees showed up for an employee-only park that's run by Disney.
Yeah.
Also, I can't see Disney investing any kind of money into a cast member-only park, which is sad. I know they do cast member events. That's great. We'll probably talk about this later, but today was the last day of Dinosaur. So a lot of people are trying to be the last ones to ride right now. But tomorrow is the cast member last day. So really, those are the last ones to go on. And that's nice that they do that for them. But think about how we have to nickel and dime and beg Disney to do things, and you want them to invest, let's just say on the low end, $1 billion for the most basic park with very little theming, and then they can't charge people to get in. Are you crazy? It's a whole new world that you're doing.
Well, when they do like the cruise line, they have their own like the cast members have their own pool. There's like the regular pools are all over, and then the cast members have their own pool. It would be nice if they had some perks. I know that cast members have like the canteens in the park where they can go backstage and eat. Usually that's if they're on the clock. But yeah, that would be an interesting one. Jungle Cruiser, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. I want to ask you guys a question. Hot topic, I feel like. Disney is about to announce a new CEO, which will affect the parks. Again, we usually try to focus on the parks. Congratulations, Mr. Carney. We usually try to focus. Oh, I'm sorry. Bob said not to say anything yet. Awkward.
Mum's the word.
Yeah, we usually try to focus on the parks, but this is part of the parks, and we know that Josh D'Amaro is in the running. Let's start with you, Pete. Do you think that Josh should be the guy? Do you think he will be the guy, or do you think that there's like somebody else that they're going to surprise us with waiting in the wings?
Who's the other one? The woman that is the other, like, it's, I heard from what I heard, it's either between Josh and oh man, what's her name? Is Kathleen? Is it? There's someone from, anyway. If I had to pick, like, if it's between those two, I will say this. I would prefer more of a creative, but I don't think there's a lot of those in the running. So if I had to pick, I would say I'll take Josh D'Amaro, only because we've seen he's the kind of guy that does walk through the parks. He does talk to the cast members. He talks to guests. He hangs out. He's not hidden in some ivory tower. He's on Main Street USA. He's at ride openings. He's at special events. So I'll take someone who does mingle and walk through the parks, because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want someone who knows are where we love the attractions and have a great time, and where there's struggles and like what could use a little TLC. So if it's going to be Josh, and I really forget the other candidate who I heard it came down to.
Is that who we're talking about?
Maybe Dana Walden. Maybe it's Dana Walden. But I've never seen her in the parks, and maybe because she's just not as big of a name. But I like that Josh is in the parks. I just miss the creative era. Like, I really wish it was like someone from Imagineering, or like someone like an Eisner who just wants to like shake things up and, you know, put fun and family and affordability too. I mean, we just saw the Wall Street Journal put out an article about how expensive Disney is getting and how it's 3xing, you know, the real cost of goods and inflation and everything else, and it's pricing people out, and how they're really just kind of catering to the top 10% of people who can afford to go to Disney. So I don't know. But if I had to choose, I'll take D'Amaro because at least he's around.
Yep. Kevin has been very thoughtfully and patiently waiting to tell us his thoughts.
I'm with Pete. You know, Josh seems like a pretty good candidate. I'd like to see somebody who has that tribal knowledge that goes back to, you know, the Walt era, that you know, subscribes to that type of philosophy where, you know, the guests come first. You know, this Paul Pressler, we're still dealing with all his nonsense with all the cutbacks and stuff with maintenance. And as all of us know, you go to the park. Today's a good example. Maybe because of weather, I don't know, but monorails are down, people movers down. Other things, ferry boats are only running one. Maybe they had a couple later on in the day, but when I was there, they only had one running. So I would like to see, you know, someone with some travel knowledge back towards the Walt philosophy, and again, also to somebody with some creativity. You know, bring something new and fresh to the parks.
Yep, agree. All right, let's move on to the next topic. I've got another question for you guys. Pete, you mentioned at the top, Dinosaur closed today, the last day. You were there live streaming Adventures by Carney. We're going to hype all about that a little bit later, but I want to ask, yeah, there it is. There he is. There's the fella. But honestly, here's my question is, and I don't know, you guys might have different thoughts. Kev is more of a newbie-ish kind of guy to the East Coast, so, you know, I'm interested in hearing what both of you guys have to say, but we'll start with you, Pete. Will you miss Dinoland, or are you more excited about what is coming? Does it, like, because I feel like a lot of people maybe don't care as much about Dinoland. I could be wrong about that. I know a lot of us are very passionate, but I know when you ask the majority or the outsiders, a lot of times it's just they kind of are like, I'll take it or leave it. I'd rather have something new. Are you going to miss Dinoland?
Okay, so I'll break this down to two kind of answers. Will I miss Dinoland? Yes or no? Yes. I think Dinoland's an awesome land. However, am I excited for the future of the land? Also, yes. I do think, not that it was time, but you kind of had to do something with that area of the park. I mean, it definitely, so Imagineers did an incredible job with a limited budget in that area, and I know some people think that they ran out of money, that's why they just kept it the asphalt, but they made a concerted effort to have this themed area, kind of like a roadside attraction. So you have that entertainment there, and you had education with the Dino Institute, And then I loved the theming. I mean, I don't think there's really been a land that has that many Easter eggs, backstory, and incredible little knick-knack paddywhacks all over. Like even like the Restaurantosaurus Lounge, you go in there from the engine room to the Osauruses to on the roof where they're playing this to the bunk room to the trail. I mean, there's just so many little things. Hidden Mickeys, hidden Donalds, Joe Rohde's art on the wall. There's just so much going on in there. So I'm really gonna miss all that stuff. I think their attention to detail was fantastic. However, it was around since 1998. It's a heck of a run. We're talking what is that, 27 years. Walt always said he wanted the parks to be changing, evolving, growing. It's a living, breathing park. So I think this is a fun move. I think it has kind of run its course. Even going on Dinosaur today, it's just tough. I mean, there's so many scenes that just really aren't working. It's just dark. It's really just a core workout in the dark. So it's time. Let's get a little refresh. Let's have some fun. Let's mix it up and impress us. We've talked about at length a lot of the misses, but we forget that there are things that we've freaked out about that have worked out, like Tower of Terror in California. People rioted. There was going nuts. And then Rohde came out and gave us that Guardians of the Galaxy, and it ended up being a welcome addition. It's a really fun ride, and I think most of the crowds love it and like it. So I think let's see what happens. Let's stay cautiously optimistic, and I'm excited for it. So I hope that answers your question in some way.
It does. And before we get to you, Kevin, I wanted to show this is something I don't know that I would have ever thought we would see.
We talked about this today, yeah.
And 65-minute wait for Dinosaur. And I think that in a lot of cases, it's an attraction that not a lot of people are going to, that they end up changing. And it's like, hey, it's time for renew, rebirth. But for something like
I have a question for you two guys really quick. Can I throw a curveball at you? Since you just saw that wait time, this is something I asked my audience today. Do you think today's 265 will be over under the opening day of Indy when it opens? Do you think it'll have more or less than 265, which was today's wait time?
I think
it'll be under.
Higher. I think that's higher. You think
it's higher? Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and here's the reason I think it's higher is because when Indy comes out, there'll be the press preview, and then there'll be the AP and DVC and all that kind of stuff. This is the last time for everyone to ride it, whether you're press, DVC, whatever. Now, like you said, there'll be a cast member, but I feel like for that reason, I'm out. But Kevin, tell us what you think about that, and tell us what you think about Dinoland. Having come from California out here, I know that you used to visit Animal Kingdom, but I don't think you necessarily grew up with it, did you?
I did not. The first time I came out here and experienced Dinoland was 2018. I thought it was a cute land. I did like Dinosaur, the ride. Obviously, similar ride vehicle as Indiana Jones. Things did work at that time, but as Pete said, as the years have gone by, some things have not, and they haven't repaired it. But it also looked a little worn. It looked like that land needed some love, whether it needed a refurbishment or what they're doing now is just tearing it down and building the new land back there. I don't have any attachment to that land other than the bar. The bar, and the alligator that was from the bar.
Marley.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see what they come up with out there. Again, yeah, like Pete said, cautiously optimistic that they do a good job with it.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me. I've had a comment that my mic is too low, so let me turn that up a little bit. But you know what? I didn't think this was really going to be.
Bump it up. I love that in the chat they were like, "That you're gonna regret telling Pete to be louder." That's hilarious.
No,
I think it was my homegirl dog.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, one of the people said, "Do you think it'll be standby when it opens up?" I do not think it would be standby.
I think it'll be boarding groups.
I feel like there will be boarding groups when that all happens. But I feel like Encanto is going to be the bigger attraction here because we've never seen it. We've never seen anything like Encanto, so that'll be interesting. Let me switch a little bit, and again, I'm going to keep pitching questions to you guys until we hear more from the chat. But I will say I am interested, since both of you guys are there. Kev's a little bit newer, and Pete is an expert. But I'm going to ask you guys, what's the best Disney World Resort pool to crash? Peter
So
Carney.
we're ruling out Stormalong Bay then. We're ruling out Stormalong Bay. You can't crash Stormalong Bay.
You can't crash
You got to
it
show a
because,
room.
like, yeah, you have to have like basically like
You have to show your
like,
room key, and then they give you a wristband to go into Stormalong Bay.
Yeah.
So if you're
we can
ruling
take
that
off
out,
the table.
this is a good question.
Okay.
Kevin, you want to go first or second?
I'll go second because I'm trying to figure out the ones I've been to.
All right. I'll say I mean, this is tough because I like to mix it up. I like the variety of it, but I really enjoy the second pool at Wilderness Lodge. Not the main pool where there's the splash pad. I mean, the main pool is great, but it's very busy. It's kind of crowded. The water runs into it. It's beautiful. But the second pool over by the boulders, I forget the name of that pool area, but if you go to Wilderness Lodge, there's an auxiliary pool. That pool, they have servers walking around, which will bring you food and drink to you, so you never have to go to the bar. The restrooms are very close. You don't have to leave the pool area. You get to stay in the pool area to go to the restrooms, and they have locker rooms with showers. And they also have first come, first serve cabanas, which you don't have to pay anything extra for. You can kind of hang out in these cabanas. They have the towels right there. They have an zero entry, where, kind of like the sloped entry in, as well as stairs on the other side. There's a big tower kind of in the middle, and which will provide shade on those really hot days, depending on where the sun's at. So you can find a spot in the pool that has shade, which is rare as well. So I really enjoy that pool. And now I hope the thousands of you watching all don't go at once, but let's coordinate our efforts and see what happens.
And you don't know, this is where? Wilderness Lodge?
Wilderness Lodge. Yeah, they have two pools. It's the second pool over by the DVC area.
Gotcha. Okay. Kev, have you formulated your answer? I can't wait.
Probably would be the one of the pools over at the Poly, right behind was that Trader Sam's. I don't know the name of it.
Yeah.
I've looked at it a lot. That kind of looks like fun over there.
You just looked at
otherwise, you know what? I'm gonna go with where I usually go, which is Pop.
Okay. Yeah, because that's probably where you guys would stay when you would visit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're not high-end people.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you guys the next question then. And this one, I feel like you guys will divide on this one. If you could only pick one, Disneyland or Disney World? Let's start with Kevin, because I feel like I know his answer on this one already.
We know the answer here. Come on.
Does Disneyland include DCA?
Yeah. The Disneyland Resort or Disney World Resort?
All right, I'll go with the Disneyland Resort, and I'm not going to just throw this out there. Shameless plug here. That's one of the biggest reasons. In Disneyland for me, I grew up with Disneyland. It's the original. I'm not saying anything new about that. I do like the DCA side mainly because Pim's opens at 8 a.m. for beer. So that's always a plus with me. And there's no alcohol on the Disneyland side. But the nostalgia of Disneyland, the original rides and everything, they're second to none. Yes, I love coming out here. I'm living out here, going to the Magic Kingdom and the other three parks as well. But I have a very strong attachment to the Disneyland Resort.
Okay. Pete, I know you've been to both. Which is the one that you would say ride or die?
I have been to both. All right. So to me, this is tough, but it's a two-part answer as well. There's nothing better than the original, right? That's where Walt Disney himself walked the streets, built there. I mean, I told the story, I think, on this program before, but the first one out there was by myself. No one would go with me, and I had some work to do out there anyway, so I went out, and I booked myself the Walking in Walt's Footsteps tour on his birthday at Disneyland, and my tour guide had been there so long that she was there and had literally conversations with Walt Disney himself. So it was super neat. And it's just there's a magic in the air knowing that is the Walt Disney Park. However, it's hard to say that we have 4 main theme parks, 2 water parks, Disney Springs, golf courses, and we're only using half of the land that we can. Technically, we're using a third of it, but Disney always said he wanted to keep a third for conservation. So right now we're using about 33% of the land we could use. I mean, it's just massive here. It's hard to compare. It's apples to oranges, and I hate that expression. But I would say I think the feels and the emotion are out in California. But if you're talking in terms of like the better place or where I'm going on vacation, bang for your buck, we have 6 parks in Disney Springs and golf courses. Like Disneyland is 2 parks and you can get it done in 2 days. I've been living here 6.5 years. I don't think I still have done everything at Walt Disney World.
All right. Any rebuttal, Kev, before we move on?
No, I agree. Again, like I said, it's the nostalgia. It's knowing that Walt had walked those. He'd walked Main Street. The apartment that he has above the firehouse.
So cool.
The entry. The whole thing. It's second to none, and it is fun out here. Obviously, the default is they bought more land out here than they had available in Anaheim at the time that they built Disneyland. Probably, if you look at it, a good thing in that coming out here, they were able to expand and build more parks, more things for people to do, and explore different types of theme parks. But Disneyland, to me, it still stands as number one for me.
Okay.
Look at his wall behind him. Come on, we knew the answer.
Allie put every bit of that there.
She did, but I will tell you this: that Disneyland sign behind me, that was a purchase. That was a drunk purchase. Obviously, being in Ballast Point, and we had seen it earlier in the day while we were walking through downtown Disney on our way to the park. And on the way back, I told Allie, that is the original sign that they had out on Harbor Boulevard. And she said, "No, well, we don't need it. We don't need it." And I thought about it, and of course, we're over at Ballast Point, I don't know, 3-4 hours, and I just told her, "Hang on," and I walked down there and bought it and brought it back, and here it is on our wall.
Okay, I withdrawn then. Good for you, man. I love that. We have a couple super chat questions. So the first one, hold on, is from our good friend Vince Billy Batson. And here's the question:
shows the Gagliardi SG3 collectibles. Check them out.
Do it one more time. One more time. No, go ahead.
I said, yeah, Vince, we love the Gagliardi. He said, everyone go check out SJG3 Collectibles, an eBay store. You should go check it out. It's fantastic. Vince is the best. Go on.
There you go. Considering WDW continues to replace and not add rides, because I was actually thinking something along this line. I think he put it better. How do you think Disney Abu Dhabi, well, Saudi, will affect this? Money is no object there, and since 99% of us will never go, do you think that'll pressure the U.S. parks to up their games? Great show, even better panel. Well, we appreciate it. Let's start with you, Mr. Carney. What do you think?
This is just Tokyo part 2, right? Like, Tokyo is where they come and pick and choose all the best rides. They do the best versions. They have all the, everyone that goes to Tokyo comes back and goes like, yeah, that's the best. That's unbelievable. And also because not that they don't care about money maybe as much as Saudi, but I think they just are committed to doing it right and giving you a kind of like that OG Disney feel of, hey, let's just give the people the best possible thing we could do and the money will follow. Not how much money can we save and okay, our return on investment on this ride will be X, Y, and Z. It's no, if there's a possible way to do it better, let's do it that best way, that old Walt mentality. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the Saudi park. I don't know, because I think I'm not sure what the rules and regulations will be and how much Disney can do or get away with, or how true to the Disney visions they can be. There's a lot of tough laws, rules, and regs over there. So I'm curious to see how that all comes together. But yeah, is it awesome to have a Disney park with no budget? It's sick. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Kev?
Well, yeah, because it's not coming out of Disney's pocket. OLC is the one that pays for everything. Yeah. So, OLC wants the best. They're going to pay for it. And it seems their philosophy is do it right the first time. People will come no matter how much it costs them to build it. Like Field of Dreams, they will come. If you build it, they will come. And you do it right, they will come. And they will come often. So, I think what holds up the Saudi park would be whatever the laws of the land would let Disney do, what they would dictate to them. If Disney's allowed to kind of go for broke there, I would expect it to be an incredibly magnificent park. They do things right over there as well. So, their political conditions
Yeah,
notwithstanding.
you're not going to have a lot of Pride days over in Saudi.
Right, you're not you're not going to have any of that. You you may not even have Valentine's Day there. So you'll see how that goes.
Well, I
I
mean,
think
that
that's
is
the only thing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think that's the only thing that would hold that up.
I do wonder though if they'll get some ideas and then be able to say, okay, we've already built it there. We can do a cheaper version here. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that works. If they've already designed the plans, I don't know how the agreement works. If Imagineering designs the stuff for them and it's exclusive there, or if they have reserved the right to build versions of it here. But once all of the R&D has been done, you've already spent a lot of money, so it'll be nice to see if maybe that sparks some inspiration for some of these other parks for sure.
And how do they not put an Agrabah in? Come on, it's the perfect backdrop.
Yeah.
It's all sand. You can put a big, beautiful castle up. You can literally have tigers roaming around. Come on, put me in charge.
Okay.
Tigers,
yeah,
well, because they don't have any here.
All right. We have another one, a little bit lighter topic from our good friend Jungle Cruise. And then this one is Disneyland is getting rid of film strip fries, potato barrels, and steak fries. They will only sell shoestring fries. Any thoughts? I feel like, Kev, I'm going to go to you on this one first. And first, thank you, Jungle Cruiser, for the question. Are you familiar with film strip fries? Are you?
I am not, but I like shoestring fries anyway. So that's that's an interesting question because we are acquainted with people in the food industry or they're at Disneyland. So I'm not sure why the change. I'm sure there's a good reason why. Probably just to keep everything consistent in the park. I don't know. That sounds like something that Disney would do.
You know what? You said you're sure there's a good reason. I'm not sure there's always a good reason, except for because money. But yeah, right.
Well,
Mr. Carney?
There's a good reason in Disney's mind. Maybe not.
Yeah, because their supplier was like, "Hey, look, if you buy 4 tons of shoestring fries, we'll knock 50 cents off." And Disney's like, "Sold."
Yep.
So this is what I'm looking at here. These actually film strip fries and beer cheese. Those look pretty good, to be honest. I mean, I get what you're saying, Kev, about shoestring fries, but I can get those at McDonald's. I don't know where else I could get these. Thoughts, Mr.
That's
Mr.
true.
Carney?
And let's be honest right here. You know what? Nothing beats McDonald's fries. Come on, let's not joke.
Those are like shoestring fries. I feel like that's kind of like the shoestring fries, the McDonald's fries. I don't know. I mean, this is a fries topic. I think it's honestly just because of money, which is sad. I think it's cooler to have different types of fries and different lands and different parks, and it kind of mixes it up and makes it fun. To have just the same thing everywhere is very and no offense to everyone watching from the Six Flags organization, but more or less like a Six Flags mentality. Like, we go to Disney because of the thought behind it. Like, what kind of French fries would we serve here? Maybe this type of the film strip works better, or I like when there's intention behind everything at Disney. That's what made me fall in love with Disney, is that the intention behind things, not just, hey, this is the easy route or this saves money. So yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, not that I'm anti shoestring fries. Look at my face. I'll eat all the fries, but come on.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah. We have another super chat here. It is not necessarily a question, but I'm going to put it out there for you anyway. Here it. It's again from Jungle Cruiser. Abu Dhabi will not have a U.S. Main Street. Yeah, honestly, we're calling this a castle park. Getting back to the Abu Dhabi, we're calling it a castle park. But when you look at the plans that they put out there, they're very vague. Like, you can't really tell what they had in mind. It's almost like they kind of made them blurry and for a reason, but the castle looks like it's made of light or something. I don't know what's going on with it, but it definitely, even though it's supposed to be a castle park, it doesn't look like in any way it's going to follow the traditions of a regular Magic Kingdom. So, Kevin, what thing, just off the top of my head here, what things do you think that it would have to feel like a Magic Kingdom? Because it's going to have a castle. Is that enough?
I think for Abu Dhabi, that might be enough. I don't think anything. You can't I shouldn't say you can't, but they probably aren't going to Americanize that park that much. I think they're going to keep to their traditions in that country. Yes, a castle. Uh, it may be bigger than the one that is in Shanghai, uh, but I don't see where it's going to be Americanized all that much. They may have attractions that are geared more towards their culture and named such.
Yeah.
Uh, but as far as anything mainstream, anything that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Pete, what makes it a castle park? Just a castle? Is that enough?
I just feel like it's to me more just the warm and fuzzy, right? So like if it's not going to be Americanized, that's fine, but it's the way you feel when you enter a Disney park. It's again, I talk about intention all the time. It's looking around and just there's so many little things. It's hard to spot it all at once, and it's that feeling of like okay, this is where I'm meant to be right now. This is the way people treat each other, the way if it's clean. I think it's more a feeling. Now, it doesn't have to be Americanized Main Street USA. I think it's kind of fun that that's here. And I think other parts of the world deserve to be explored and learned about and show that there's magic in other places besides just Main Street USA. No matter where you grew up, if you're a young child or a grown-up child like myself, no matter what culture or where you come from in any corner of the world, there's magic. And I think it's just finding that magic. And there's multiple ways to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it goes back to that.
Also, though, it's weird sometimes to think of building something in something in your backyard that like worships your backyard. I mean, if that makes sense, because like Disney California Adventure, it seemed weird. It's like you're in California. Why do you need to celebrate it there? But we had that conversation because it's celebrating 25 years, and I think a lot of people outvoted me on the fact that it's like, no, you should have a place in California that celebrates California. So
I would say too, as someone not from California, if I'm going out to California to visit Disneyland, I might not have time to explore the entire state and I'm going to Disney. It's a way for me to learn and kind of like dive into or see different parts of California in a Disney version theme park.
Yeah.
So it's not like, hey, you're in California, this doesn't make sense. You have to think about the people who are literally flying and traveling there who don't have time to go over California. They have a 3-day trip, they're going to Disney, and that's their view of California.
Got it. Here's the next one because we've been talking about Disney. Let's take it. Dude, I don't know what to tell you about that one. Let's take a time out on the Disney stuff and let's talk about Universal. Specifically, they built a little park. I don't know if you guys had a chance because I know you guys live down there to hear about it. It's called Epic Universe. It opened up last May. I just want to hear your take. Because you know what, when it came out, it was very divisive. Some people are like, I don't really know, and some people, including me, were like, I love it. So I want to hear from Kevin first. What's your take on Epic Universe? And if you want to share, what's your favorite portal?
I think it's a cute little park. There is obviously room for expansion there, which I believe they're already talking about doing. And of course, my favorite portal is the Atlantic. And shout out to Angie and Bobby, the two bartenders there. They are amazing at what they do. But it's a cozy little park. The rides are pretty good. We've been lucky the couple times that we went that the Ministry of Magic ride was open and available. Big suggestion to anyone who's going to stand in that line: take a couple road beers with you because you will probably need it.
Great
Since
advice.
the wait is about an hour, it is a beautiful. If for those of you who have been in there, you know this, and I don't want to give a lot away to those who haven't been there yet, but it is fantastic. You feel like you're on set. It is amazing what they did in there.
Yeah, my favorite thing is that I said to you, tell me your favorite portal, and you mentioned your favorite bar. Maybe that's the same thing for you. I don't know, because, then you followed it up with road beers, but that's fine. I was really thinking more along the lines of like Darkmoor, like the Dark Universe, Burke, Wizarding World, or
don't question the great and powerful Kevin. He knows what he's talking about. The Atlantic portal is fantastic.
I am in awe of
the Atlantic portal is what gets me to the other places.
That is the portal to get you to what you need to do next and feeling good. Understood. I love that. Mr. Carney, same question.
I like Epic Universe a lot. And in terms of expansion, from what I've heard, and this is just what I've heard, is that there is 3 more expansions already in the works. And what's crazy is if you look at that footprint right now, I believe that park is around the same size as Magic Kingdom, around 110 acres, or give or take. But I believe the total land they have there is 700, which would make it the biggest theme park footprint in Orlando. I mean, Animal Kingdom is the biggest right now at 500 and change. So it could be tremendous down the road. Again, we're talking probably 20 years or so with, how long it takes to build stuff and budgets. But I like Epic. I think it does need to grow and kind of into its own thing, and it's getting better, every day. There's certain issues, like when it rains, it kind of shuts down a lot of the park. There's not a lot of shade, so they got to wait for some trees to grow in. So they're having some of those like little things here and there, but it's a really fun park. The thing is, I really hope they turn it, they let the APs go in, because you need energy. And I love the park empty, but like that kinetic energy of guests and things happening really is important. And on some of these slower days, which I know some people are like, what are you talking about? But I've been in there where it's dead, and I don't know. I think they got to let APs in. Let us come back. I'm tired of the 1-day ticket thing. It's not fun. And there's a lot of pressure. And if it rains, you don't get to do half the things anyway. But anyway, my favorite portal, I love Darkmoor. I love Mario. I love Harry Potter. I agree that inside that ride is incredible. But I think where you get the most bang for your buck, and I've never even seen How to Train Your Dragon, is How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, it's got the best show in the park. It has an amazing coaster, another ride, an amazing food hall, an amazing meet and greet, amazing quick service food, amazing wandering characters. It just kind of has everything you want in one little land. And I've never even seen the movie.
I was about to say, how have you not seen the movie? They even made a live action for you recently.
I know How to Train a Dragon. Why would I watch a how-to?
Oh, you know what? You're right.
No.
My bad. All right. Let's talk about something else that I don't even know if either of you care about. In Disneyland, in the Galaxy's Edge, they're going to be in April bringing in the OG Star Wars characters. We're going to have Darth Vader. We're going to have Han Solo. We're going to have Princess Leia, and they're going to split it up into 2 different camps. You're going to have the First Order and Rey and all that in the Resistance camp, because you can't really change that ride, and so they're going to have them over there. They're going to have like Luke and Han and Leia, and the rest of the group are going to be over by the Millennium Falcon, and they're going to start the Mando and Grogu situation there. Again, I don't know how deep, if at all, your fandoms go on this, but are you excited about this at all, Pete? Or do you have issues with it? You want it to come east? You want it to stay west? What's happening?
I'm excited for Star Wars fans, and I'm excited for fans going to the parks. I think a lot of people would love to have those interactions with those characters and to love to see them or take a picture or see them interacting in different environments. I'm not a big enough Star Wars fan per se to know. I just don't want it to mess up kind of the backstory. So if they can come up with a storyline that's strong enough, that's somewhat believable, I'm fine with it. I just think the reason we love Disney parks is that there's so much, backstory, and it has to make sense. And I think that's why Disney literally came out to Florida instead of Disneyland, because he didn't want people wandering through other lands that didn't belong there. And as long as they belong in that area, or there's a reason that they're there, then I think this is fine. I think it's great, like I said, for the guests. These are iconic characters, some of the most recognizable. Even if you've never seen a Star Wars movie, you know who Darth Vader is. You know who these characters are. So I think that's pretty neat. It'll be a great drop.
Yeah, Kev, I know you're Team Dark Side in all things. So tell me, tell me what you think about this.
I agree. As long as it doesn't ruin the vibe that they have there, where more is not always better. Yes, they are iconic figures in the Star Wars trilogy, or whatever they're calling it now. There's 9 movies or whatever. But as long as it doesn't take away from the vibe in that land, the vibe is actually pretty good. You see Rey walking around every once in a while. You have Chewie walking around and everything. I've seen Boba Fett a few times, but sometimes less is better. So as long as they don't oversaturate that land with all the characters, it might work.
Okay.
That's why Rob only has me on the show every 3 months. Less is more.
No. I was trying to book you. I mean, I know I can't afford that booking fee that much, so I'm just trying to pace myself.
I'll talk
out.
to my publicist.
Wait. There's a booking fee? Hey,
Whoa,
hey,
whoa,
hold on.
whoa.
There's a booking.
Per diem? Hello? No.
Yeah.
So honestly, here's the thing that I wanted to ask you guys next, and this could be a little bit of a hot take. So, Pete, I know you like to keep things positive. Kev, I know you like to dig in a little bit. So this should be interesting for both of you to answer, but I'm going to let Kev answer first because I feel like he's got more finger on the pulse. What's a thing that people do or buy or love about theme parks that you go, I just don't get it?
Rob, turn off your backdrop and let's just look at your room.
That could be the thing. I'm at Pete. We're starting with Kevin.
Sorry.
What is it that bothers me about what people buy there?
No, it could be buy or do or something people do in the parks that just you don't get it. Could be buying. I don't know.
Well, I think everybody who's heard me, the biggest problem I have with people is the lack of common sense. It escapes them the minute. I used to say it would escape them the minute they drove into the parking structure. I think the minute they hit that inner butter when they pay for their tickets online and get their reservations done, that's where all common sense is gone. Today is a perfect example. I was walking through EPCOT, headed towards the monorail, and there was a guy who was a portly guy at that, and there is some significance to that. He was looking to his left, walking, waving to his family, and I see him, and I'm trying to go to my right to avoid walking into him, and then he sped up to where his belly hit me, and I said, "Hey, be careful." And he looked around and said, "Yeah, okay, watch out, bitch." And like, dude, what's all that about? And he's got his kids, and there's other kids around, and he's just f-bombing and everything. And yes, I do this. I can drop an f-bomb on occasion. Yes, but when there's kids around and they're not yours as well, I mean, come on, man. Let's clean that stuff up. As far as what people buy, I think the one thing that I used to see at Disneyland was those huge pumpkins during Halloween, where they came in a box that was probably like astronomically huge, is all I can say. And for however much it costs, it's like I'm not sure why you would need that, but Disney people will buy everything and anything just because.
You know what I saw for sale at Disneyland that I was like, I am so confused right now. And as Pete has alluded, I'll buy anything. Is they had a puppet theater, a puppet show theater for sale at DCA. I don't know if you ever saw it, Kev, but it's like,
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
It was about the size of like a card table, and it's like, what are you? Why is this for sale here? Like, I don't even understand why they sell those those Hasbro Black, Black Series Star Wars helmets in the park. Like, let me just go ahead and grab one of those while I'm here because it's going to go so easily in my carry-on, or I'm going to be able to cart it around the park all day, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know about that part, but yeah, that is pretty crazy. Pete, same question. You gotta dig in, my brother.
Why do people go to the Italy booth during festivals? Why? Why?
Woo!
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of on the same page. This is tough because I really try not to judge. And I love that people have their own things because if we all did the same thing, we'd all be in the same long line. So, like, if you're into pins, you're into popcorn buckets, you're into X, Y, or Z, like, that's great because it gives everyone something. And I really don't try to judge anyone's hobbies or habits as much as I tease Rob. It's all love. But I mean, I'll kind of piggyback on what Kevin said. I really dislike the people who, because they're not having a good time or it's not going their way, impact other people's vacations. And that just really upsets me because people are spending a ton of money and they're having this, for some people, once in a lifetime experience, or maybe like it's been 20 years or they haven't been back with their family or they're, hey, there's a special time with my parents or my mom or my dad or my brother. And that upsets me. And also the way people treat cast members as if like they're the ones who are making the $30 billion. I mean, these cast members are barely getting by. And the way some people treat cast members really, really upset me. Like it hurts me because here's these cast members that put their whole lives on hold. They have so much going on behind the scenes. They're barely making a livable wage. And I'm not saying this in a mean way to cast members. I'm saying that they're doing it for the love of the game. And then to hear the way sometimes people treat cast members really upsets me when it's really clearly not their fault. And I'm not saying every cast member is perfect. But it just, and again, it's like what Kevin's saying, like around kids too, like the example you set, like that child's going to remember this vacation for a long time, whether it's someone watching another family or you're the person setting that example. I don't know. I feel like we all go to Disney to escape some of that, tougher parts of life and to bring kind of that bad attitude or be a black cloud. I don't like that. Not a big fan. Also, you should probably skip the Italy booth during festivals.
Yeah. And the Hawaii booth. Always skip the Hawaii booth. I don't care what festival it is.
Always skip the Hawaii booth. Yeah, Kevin, you actually have thoughts on the Hawaii booth, don't you?
Oh, please, he loves it.
Please share your thoughts on the Hawaii. This is your time, my friend. Brother, tell the people what they need to know about the Hawaii booth.
It's in the same category as the Italy booth, but more so that the food is not real Hawaiian food. So don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Do not stand in that line for the Hawaii booth, especially during food and wine. It is ridiculously stupid to even purchase anything there.
Okay. Speaking of food and wine, I feel like like for me personally, the best fest is always the Festival of the Arts. But both of you guys have been able to enjoy all of the festivals at EPCOT. So, Kev, as you've been there, Festival of Holidays, the Food and Wine, the Flower and Garden, and the Festival of the Arts. Which one's your go-to? Which one's your favorite?
Festival of the Arts. The creativity of the artists that show up. The food there is a different level. I think Pete and I had tried some food on his one of his live streams, and the food that we had was actually pretty good. I did enjoy it. So for me, Festival of the Arts definitely is one that I don't mind going to.
Pete?
I love the Festival of the Arts. I almost wish we could combine it with Flower and Garden, though, because Flower and Garden, I just think the park looks so beautiful. Like, the park I wish it could always look like that, just with the flower beds and how they do such a great job. Also, they have this year especially, it's a great concert series as well. So I'm a big fan of Flower and Garden, but Festival of the Arts is great. I think it's a tie for me because we get more food booths for Flower and Garden, which I think is great, more variety. I think the concerts are fantastic. I also love the Broadway shows, but going to Festival of the Arts with so many different groups of people, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just going to skip that. Now, I love the Broadway shows. I'll go watch that in the American Gardens Theater all day. But I know some people aren't into that. So, I don't know. I just think the park's gorgeous during Flower and Garden. I think the food's pretty good during Flower and Garden. If I had to rank them, I'd put Festival of the Arts and Flower and Garden neck and neck. And then Food and Wine would be that third place spot. And then Festival of the Holidays, it's fun. It's a nice filler festival. It's cute. But it would be number 4 probably.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I agree.
Kev, what about the California ones? I mean, you've got the Lunar New Year, you've got the Food and Wine Festival Holidays over there at DCA.
The only one I really liked is the Lunar New Year, which is going on right now. I remember the first time they had the Lunar New Year Festival, I believe they had like 15 booths. So they made a lot of things that were not good. There were comments about that. To Disney's credit, I'm sure they heard or listened to some of those comments. And the following year, I believe they scaled it back to either 8 or 11 booths. So less was better because the food was better. There was more attention to detail of what they did. I'm sure it's probably the same now. I haven't heard from Allie. I know she's there right now with that. But for me, Lunar New Year over at DCA is my favorite one.
Okay. Here's a question that I feel like both of you will have an opinion on. Peter, this is coming to you first. Best lounge on Walt Disney World property. Best lounge. Like, you can only pick one. All the rest of them are shutting down. Just one lounge. What is the best? Don't give me a 2-part answer. Don't do that. I need to hear one best lounge on Disney property.
We're talking about in a park or at a resort or both?
Property. Disney property.
You're making it very hard, Robert.
I'm trying to. I mean, this is
all right. Well, if we're ruling out, I'm going to rule out Springs. I feel like that's cheating, right? We're gonna go park or resort. Man, there's a lot of good ones. I really enjoy. Oh, oh man, this is. I feel like I don't want the other ones to
picking
know.
your children.
Yeah, it is. It's like picking children. Exactly. I don't want the other ones to know. Like, don't tell the others. I really enjoy it. It's on my mood too. It really is a hardcore decider here, but I'm gonna say Coronado, and I'll probably say Dahlia up top. The food is good, the drinks are good, the views are great, the atmosphere is fantastic, and if it's full up there, the fact that you can take an elevator down and go to like the Barcelona Lounge down there, which is like a nice coffee bar during the morning and a gin bar at night. Although they'll make a full cocktail menu, Coronado's the spot. But I guess I really I think Dahlia's fun. I mean, am I going there all the time as my go-to as a local? Probably not. But if I'm taking someone around, I think it's a really special place you can bring somebody without like having a reservation.
Okay. All right. Fair. And Kevin?
And Pete did take us to there, and that was an awesome bar to go to. I think without question for me, it's got to be Geo, and the main reason is Philippe. When you have an over the top, exceptional bartender uh, working back there, knows his stuff, knows how to make a drink. All you have to do is tell him what your favorite alcohol is. It could be one, two, three different types of alcohol, and he can make you a couple different drinks per alcohol. It's second to none. Yeah, you need a reservation. Yes, you need a park reservation to get in there at EPCOT. Yes, it's a little expensive, but it is worth the time and the money to go in there. And it's adult only. There's no screaming kids.
Fair. That is valid. That is true. All right. So, last question for the night. I feel like here, I'm going to ask you guys what thing
Nomad's really good too.
Yeah, I saw somebody say Nomad.
Nomad's my second, actually.
Nomad's up there. Nomad's up there.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. No. All good. Because I feel like that could just be a whole topic for the next time we get you guys together. It's just like, yeah. Oh, you know Chris? Yeah, Chris over at this one. Oh, he's great. But if you've been over to Space 220, yeah, exactly. So here's the last question, and this will be kind of a view of optimism here. Is what is on the horizon for Orlando theme parks? Could be Universal, could be Disney, could be SeaWorld. I don't know. What is on the horizon for that's coming soon, 2026, 2027, and maybe even beyond, that's coming that really excites you about the theme parks? And I'm going to start with you, Pete, on this one. Just again, it could be a restaurant, it could be a policy change, it could be an attraction, a show, whatever, but something that's on the horizon that just you're just jazzed out of your mind about.
I hear they're repainting the Aerophile.
Yeah, no, that's valid. And Kev, what's your?
I was talking about this today a little bit. I'm pumped overall. If it's already happening, right? Like we all got upset about Rivers of America and everything happening in the Magic Kingdom, but now that it's happening, let's move forward. I think most people would agree, if they've been to it, that the Cars Land in California is one of the greatest lands in any Disney theme park. If they could just capture a small glimpse of that. And then I'm going to pair that with Villains Land, because I think that's the most interesting land coming to any park, because one, it's never been done. So it's like really, and they can do anything with it. And there's oodles of ideas. There's tons of villains also, but it's Magic Kingdom. So like, it's got to stay family friendly for the most part. I'm so interested to see what they do there. And also people love the villains tremendously, and people love kind of like that dark side as well. I mean, look how well HHN does and Hallow Scream and everything else. I think the Villains Land is going to be super interesting. I'm excited to see what the Imagineers do, because there's so much they can do. I feel like there's literally countless things that they could do. How will the villains interact with each other? Will they not interact with each other? What will the rides and restaurants be like? I think that's going to be super, super interesting. So I would say, I think Villains Land is the coolest, or I'd say like the thing, like you said, the thing I'm looking forward to most, that there's so much you could do. I'm so interested to see how they do it.
Okay. And Kev, same question.
I'm gonna follow Pete on that. I am excited for Villains Land. Being from the dark side myself, I can't wait to see what they do with that. And then along the lines of Cars Land here, I agree. If you've been to the one at DCA, it's a very immersive land over there. And if they could do a small part, what I would hope they do is something a little different, uh, where you have Galaxy's Edge is the same both on both coasts, and hopefully the Cars Land that they have here has different things, different rides, different attractions and things like that, and it's not the same as what they have at DCA. If they nail that with Cars Land here at Magic Kingdom, that'll be a plus. But for me, I'm definitely looking forward for Villains Land.
Okay. Well, and what's funny to me is that that's the one we know the least about.
Yeah.
Like you're like that's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be nice. I agree with you guys. I love Cars Land. I always said that Cars Land was my favorite land in the domestic parks, and then I get to say it once a show. When I went to Tokyo, Fantasy Springs became my favorite. So, but domestically, I think Cars Land is the best. I do hope that they do a good job of it. I am sad to see Rivers of America go, but if I think you guys have maybe even said this a couple times, is if they're building something better than what was there, then I'm all for it. It doesn't have to be a museum. It doesn't have to stay there the way it is. We do have one more super chat I want to make mention of. And it's from our friend Jungle Cruiser. It says the highest G ride in all of Florida is at Kennedy Center, the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center, the 4G shuttle simulator. So, we could throw that in with our theme park adventures that we do.
You mean Mission Space?
No, thank you. No, thank you. No. Boo. But yeah, love that Jungle Cruiser. And by the way, Jungle Cruiser gave us a super chat the other night. We had a show on Friday night that was called Castaways. Stephanie hosts that show, and she interviewed our friend Annie from Adventuring with Annie, and talked to her about her time as a cast member. And Jungle Cruiser gave us a super chat on that one, so I want to give a shout out and say thank you for that one as well. And thanks to everybody who has been with us here tonight. If you haven't been with us before on this channel, it's the Park Adventurers Club. It may look familiar to you, but we do our own thing here. Please like and subscribe. Hang out with us. We appreciate it. We're here every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m., except next Sunday night because there's like a football game or something, I want to say. But then after that, we're going to, I don't know, Pete, it was something that I heard about in the news. But what?
No, but I can't wait to watch the Patriots lose. That's right. Let's go Seahawks.
Yeah. So, but we have our show on Sunday night. On Wednesday nights, we do a show called A Look on the Plus Side, where we review things. And we've got another show coming up this Sunday this Wednesday at 9 p.m. And then on Friday night, Patrick Hackett and I are going to open up Lorcana cards. If you're into that kind of thing, join us Friday night for that. And then I want to give a shout out to our pack. We love our pack, the Park Adventurers Club. Thank you guys so much for being members of the pack, and thanks to our Zebra Mezzanine and our Treasure Room supporters. Every bit of what you guys do helps us do what we do here. Speaking of what people do, Pete Carney, you got them adventures that you're doing over there. What's going on in Adventures by Carney?
Oh, we're just having a grand old time. I do live streams from the theme parks here in Orlando and take you along on my adventures throughout my life. Today we did the last day at Dinoland. We had a great time. We did the Seven Seas Food Festival with Flow Rider yesterday, as well as the preview for the festival during the week. We just have a lot of fun. And we're going on a big group cruise, so if someone's looking for a fun vacation, April 24th through the 27th. We got we sold through our first 50 spots. We're working on our next group of 50. It's a Friday through Monday, and come on a cruise. Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. I'd love to have you partying with me on the ocean. But besides that, and I'm not making any money on that. I just want to hang out with everybody. That's really all I'm doing.
And Kev will be at Atlantic. Is that right? Where you'll be?
Yeah, he'll be at the portal.
You'll be at the
I'll be at the portal. The best portal there is.
The best portal in Orlando. Wow. Well, again, thank you guys so much for doing this tonight. Hopefully, if everybody's excited about it, we'll do it again. We'll roll it back. We'll do it again sometime. But thank you both for being here. Thanks everyone who's been in the chat. We appreciate you for being here tonight. I hope wherever you are, you stay warm. It's very cold. Somebody sold Kevin a bad deal and the fact that he came to Florida for warmth and it's cold there. So, but apparently both these gentlemen have their windows open in 30-degree
They
temperatures.
do. My window is open. I'm a psycho. And I'm looking at the
I
temperature
don't.
outside right now, 39 degrees. With the wind chill, it's even colder. But, you know.
Yeah, I run hot as well, so.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a great week, everybody. Be safe, and remember, adventure is out there.
Hooray!